These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir.
As a longtime fan of Final Fantasy VII, I haven't played the game in PS1 when it was originally released. It seems very strange to me how the perception about this game has changed during these years. During this video, let's try to take a closer look at the game and try to understand what was Final Fantasy VII and why opinions have changed since its release. Final Fantasy VII was released to PlayStation 1 back in 1997. Since then, I have seen a lot of different opinions about this game. From the best game ever made, a common reference to Final Fantasy VII during the PS1 era, to overhyped some years ago, and now, after the remake being announced and shown in the E3 2019, it seems people are considering again Final Fantasy VII to be a masterpiece, and all of a sudden, people are going back to experience the original game. It took some time for me to realize this, but as for many types of art, to truly appreciate it, you need to put it into context of its era. To truly understand what Final Fantasy VII was back in 1997, you need to either have experienced the game in that period or put it into context of the games and technology available at that time. Although in my opinion Final Fantasy VII has improved on many fronts compared to its previous installments, I feel where the game really shone above all else was on its graphics and presentation, and also the way the technology allowed Square to tell the amazing story the game has. Final Fantasy VII was not great only because it was a great game, but because Square took a lot of risks and presented something different, something unique for that time. This is one of the reasons why Final Fantasy has been relevant for so long. It was never afraid of taking risks and present something new to the public. Different from today, where all the companies know how to work with 3D engines, back then each company had its own ideas and interpretation of this emerging technology. Square was one of the first companies to use pre-rendered scenarios with 3D models and also GCI movies. I remember the first time I saw the intro of this game, it was jaw-breaking. Never before we had experienced anything close to it. Characters would seem like real people, and the backgrounds were like real-life picture. A huge departure from anything at that time. To put this game into perspective, on the same period we had games such as Wild Arms and Breath of Fire 3, and some years before we had Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger. And as much as I love all these games, Final Fantasy VII was really something else, a huge leap forward. Really, I can't put into words how angry and sad I felt when that famous tragic scene happened. This was a feeling that I had never experienced before in a video game, and I'm sure that the presentation and the production of that scene was what really made that moment unique. Same can be said to several other parts of the game. Well, what I'm trying to say is, if you just play the original version today or simply judge it by the current standards, without trying to put the game into all this context, I can understand why some people can't appreciate the game as much as I and many others did in 1997. Now moving forward to the remake, I feel the producers are trying to reimagine the experience of playing Final Fantasy VII back on PlayStation 1, instead of just trying to update the game. The way I felt when I saw the E3 trailer was similar to the way I felt when I first played the game. This feeling, I think, is making people to remember or realize how great Final Fantasy VII was. When Cloud came out of the train, in the beginning of the trailer, the way Midgar is shown, the interaction among the characters, this is how our mind pictured the game back then.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche.
Apart from concerns about the way the game will be released and the changes they will make to the story, I'm happy that Final Fantasy VII will happen. I am happy that I was able to be truly amazed by this game in the past and will have the chance to experience the same feeling again. I hope that people who didn't have the chance to experience the original game get interested and finally appreciate a true gem from its time. But what's your opinion about the original Final Fantasy VII, and how is your expectation about the remake? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below, because I'm really interested to read all your comments. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.
Arlene.